to some of the stuff on the internet and the newspapers today. 6 policemen smashed their way into a Bolton house with sledgehammers to find a school dinner lady having a cup of tea. The drugs raid squad officers had got the wrong red brick terrace house in their 6:30 a.m. surprise drug raid, according to the Daily Mirror. Instead of finding junkies and junkies crazed on crack, they found Kathleen Oldham, 58, in a dressing gown enjoying an early morning cup of tea. Sorry, love, wrong house. They immediately departed, leaving a colleague behind to make a more effuse apology. Miss Oldham was presented with a bouquet of flowers, and workmen arrived very quickly to repair her front window. Can you imagine that? Just sort of...
Imagine. What are you doing in my house?
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong house, love.
Oh, a lovely cup of tea. Oh, police raid! K-Class, and let me show you.
Let me show you what?
5.5. Probably it, like that. This is how we do it.
It?
Yeah.
Like, just like that Meatloaf song?
Yeah.
What was that Meatloaf song?
What? Oh, well, I would do anything for love. I won't do that. That.
What is that?
That, it, and show you.
Show you?
It.
Take that.
Show you something or other. Take that. Take what exactly? Anyway, what was
their
whole point? Me? What was their whole point of them being called Take That anyway?
I don't know. Why not just be called Take It?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe they was having like a chat on what are we going to have a name for? And then someone said, "Yeah, I'll have a biscuit. Take that."
Oh, that's a good name, that is.
Wow, that's a good name. And then they all decided that they were going
to do that. That's fantastic.
Speaking of biscuits, it's time. I think it's time, innit? Is it time?
I think it's time again. It's
time to play
Biscuit Live
in
the town centre.
We were at the Brunel Centre from 1 o'clock. Us lot was. The rest of the station's been there since crack cut dawn.
Beginning of time.
Yeah. Well, I was 12. Well, I was a baby. Right, so yeah, we've got Things You Can't Say with Biscuit in Your Mouth. Earlier on, we got, let's get their names again. We had James, Jack, Anne-Marie, Graham, and Patrick playing Things You Can't Say with a Biscuit in Your Mouth. Here's a bit of an update what happened earlier on in the Brunel Centre. Now it's time to play Things You Can't Say with a Biscuit in Your Mouth. Right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass you a biscuit. You've got a choice of rich teas or some digestives. And what you have to do is, I'm going to say a few words out of the dictionary, and you have to say them words without breaking the biscuit. And the first person to break the biscuit loses.
Sounds like a suitably silly game.
Right, cracking open a biscuit. So, which sort of biscuit do you want? Digestive or rich tea? Digestive. Let's see if it fit in your mouth first, anyway, just to make sure. Actually, no, I'll just say, I'd like you to say positive.
Positive.
I'd like you to say juvenile.
Woohoo.
I'd like you to say gambling.
Gambling.
I'd like you to say gallop. I'd like you to say equipment.
Equipment.
I'd like you to say biblical.
Biblical.
I'd like you to say presumption.
Presumption.
I'd like you to say South Africa.
South Africa.
I'd like you to say threshold.
Threshold.
I'd like you to say tremendous.
Tremendous.
I see a bit of biscuit coming on the microphone now. I'd like you to say compatible.
Compatible.
I'd like you to say paradox.
Oh.
I'd like you to say reckless.
Reckless.
I'd like you to say capitalization. I'd like you to say officialize.
Officialize.
Everyone's biscuit's still intact, yeah? Yeah. I'd like you to say light year.
Light year.
I'd like you to say pathetic. I'd like you to say replace.
Replace.
I'd like you to say synthesis. I'd like you to say portrait.
Portrait.
I'd like you to say situation.
Situation.
I'd like you to say circumstances.
Circumstances.
So in order of appearance, that was Jack, James, Anne-Marie, Graham and Patrick. You can hear most of them on Swindon 105.5, besides from Graham. But he's your dad, and he's producer Jonathan.
He's my dad.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to thought I'd let you know who actually won that game, because it did actually. How long did it last? This is why we edited it down. How long did it last?
It lasted about 13 minutes, and we chopped it down to how long?
I think that was 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. But it was a very long game, and I think it would have probably just been a waste of time playing the whole thing. But it was quite exciting in the.
He was doing it live, wasn't it, John?
Yeah, with 5 people, wasn't it? So 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. So it did take quite a fair bit of time. But yeah, the winner of that was James. So thank you very much for that. He actually managed to say something afterwards as well, and he still didn't break the biscuit, so that's really good. So we're going to play the Geordie Prediction Pebble now. We've had a couple of questions. Do you want to
Good questions.
say hello, Jonathan?
I just want to say hello to my friend Diana.
Okie dokes.
She asks,
Yeah.
would it rain next week?
Will it rain next week? Do you want to do it on your end, actually? Because I had difficulties.
So
trying to
can I
find
throw
this.
the
Yeah, you throw the pebble, because I have difficulties on this end.
The presenter is delegating the throwing of the pebble.
Oh, this is a very
To the
important
producer.
thing.
Yeah, indeedy.
Right, I'm now throwing it. There you go, Diana. Will it rain next week? And it still goes under the chair. And no!
You have to go "Ooh," when you go on the ground, because that's what people do when they fall over.
Right.
They go "Ooh." Yeah. What else? What else should we ask? Sorry, who was that? We just.
Diana.
That was Diana,
Okay.
my friend from dancing.
Okay. Hello, Diana, Jonathan's friend from dancing.
Hello.
Give a wave, everybody.
Hi.
We're waving
Ian,
again.
Ian in the studio too has to give a wave.
Hello, Ian.
He's in the other studio.
Give
Right, we have another question.
Okie dokes.
What would this stone speak sense?
Well, the stone speaks sense.
Ow.
Yes.
Yes.
The heavy stone on Richard's foot.
Is Rich going to wear some sort of shoes sometime soon, so this Geordie Prediction Pebble Stone doesn't fall on his feet?
No.
No. Is the Spice Girls going to split up some point this year?
No.
No.
Will presenter Jonathan be kidnapped by a giant ape and be carried up an incredibly tall building?
Yes. Is that me or him?
That's you.
Me. Are we going to be on next week?
That's a good one.
We
We're
did
going to
that
be on.
before, and it said no, and it lied.
And it lied.
So,
Yeah.
Go on then, try again.
Ow! Right in the ankle!
No. What's in that? We're going to close another club this week.
Is this Geordie Prediction Pebble going to break Rich's foot?
Yes.
Okay. Will we be mentioning the hole? Will we be mentioning the hole in the ceiling again this show?
Yes, we already have.
Have you noticed the hole in the ceiling?
Do you notice the hole in the ceiling that's still there? Right.
No.
How many weeks is that now? 6?
Yeah, when our sixth show, innit? We were actually on air on the first day. Can I just say something about that day, actually? I do not remember a thing about that show.
It was a bit of a blur, wasn't it?
It was just a big blur. Not only was I slightly nervous, well, maybe
But
slightly.
you were awake for 24 hours.
I was
weren't you?
awake. I was awake for something like longer than 20. I think it was like 36 hours, and then I'd had some sleep about 2 hours, and I'd had Red Bull, and I was sort of hyped in my head, and the energy was coming out of my mouth, but there was just a slug stood in front of the desk.